Hello, it is Thursday, April the 16th, and I am Dr. Andrea Oliver, your instructor of record for AMH 2020. I am conducting what you may consider an emergency webinar of sorts to discuss some of the things that I saw as I began grading the primary source analysis that was just due this past Sunday. The reason for this emergency webinar is to make sure that I am very clear in what the expectations of this assignment were, so as to give you all the best chance possible at successfully completing what is such an essential and major component of your final grade. This was 20 to 30% of your final grade. And as I started grading this assignment earlier today, I kept noticing some common errors that kept coming up. The main error of which I noticed that really prompted me to want to do this was the fact that many of you were turning this into a different assignment. And what I mean by that is many of you were turning this into a research report, which was not what the intention of this assignment was. The intended assignment was for you to pick a primary source related to a topic that you had been assigned by myself. And what many of you were doing is you were going to the TCC database, which was also an important part of the instructions that you were given, but you were coming up with sources that weren't primary sources. The sources that you were picking from the database were related to your topic, but again, they weren't primary sources. And because of that, the highest grade I would have been able to have assigned you would have been a 50. Now, I know for myself, I'm not a mathematician by any stretch of the imagination. I happen to be married to a math teacher, but I know enough math to know that to make 50 on an assignment that's worth 20 to 30% of your grade would have spelled disaster for a class that is a requirement for your general studies degree, or for the general studies part of your AA degree for civic literacy. So I didn't want to see that happen to anybody, much less students who to this point in the semester have been pretty solid in their grades and in their performance thus far. So I've taken a few steps outside of this emergency webinar that I'm now conducting that I will be sharing with you for the next several minutes. So the first thing I want to do is I want to share my screen, and I want to first go to the Canvas site that has been assigned to those of you enrolled in this class. I'm going to click on the Assignments tab. And the first thing that I want to point out to you is, if you'll notice under the menu labeled Upcoming Assignments, you'll notice that the primary source analysis has made a reappearance. And that is because for those of you who need or would like to resubmit this assignment, you want a second crack at the bat, I am giving you until Monday, April 27th to turn in a resubmission of this assignment. So I went in and I reopened the assignment, and I changed the settings in Canvas to allow you to turn this in on Monday, April 27th. That's why it's making a reappearance in the Upcoming Assignments menu. Now, let me just take this opportunity now to say, not all of you are going to have to or want to redo the assignment. Not all of you started out wrong by not picking the right kind of source to analyze. Not all of you made that mistake, but enough of you made that mistake for me to be sufficiently concerned enough to offer this concession to you. So if you click on the primary source analysis submission link, you'll notice that the blue button that will allow you to resubmit the assignment is there for you. The other thing that I wanted to just point out, as if I may real quick, is if you scroll down the rest of this page, you'll notice a list of topics This is where you will find your assigned topic. Many of you seem to be confused about that. I received several emails from several of you over the last several days or so, not knowing what your topic was, only to have me later point out to you, well, it's been here in Canvas all along. So just again, topics haven't changed. I'm giving you an opportunity to resubmit this assignment using the same topic. So I didn't assign anybody any topic. So whatever your topic was originally is going to be the same topic. If you've forgotten what that was, you can come here to refresh your memory. The other thing I wanted to point out was the fact that if you click on this blue link here, where it says click here to visit a TCC Libraries presentation on primary sources, you will be taken to a page that under the banner Spring 2020 presentation, you'll see a presentation here titled Primary Sources, AMH 2020 and AMH 2091. If you click on that icon and allow it to do a full view on your computer screen like I've done here, basically what you'll find is a presentation that a librarian named Jules Bailey did for my face-to-face classes back several weeks ago. You'll notice that these are the same questions that are also located under the instructions that are posted on Canvas. The analysis that I'm asking you to perform are basically providing answers to these listed questions that are listed here by bullet point, okay? If you go through the rest of this presentation, it explains what a primary source is. It explains examples of what primary sources are from history. It even gives a few examples, okay? So that's for those of you that may have missed that the first time. I actually stopped sharing. I didn't intend to do that. Let me just get back to where I was real quick. Okay. Okay. Going back to where we originally were, I'm going to link back out to the assignments portion of Canvas for our class. And I'm going to scroll down to the middle of the page where it says undated assignments. Notice here where it says, what is a primary source? Real quick, I need to do something in my screen share settings. I want to make sure we've optimized all the settings necessary for you to see and hear what I'm seeing and hearing. Okay, I am back to the assignments page of Canvas. Where it says, what is a primary source? Please click on that link. What is a primary source? And again, this was something that had always been made available to you, but perhaps you missed it the first time. If you click on this link where it says, click here for library presentation on primary sources, it's essentially the same presentation that I had just shared with you on the previous page, okay? Same presentation, right? Just in another place. All right, the other thing you'll notice on this page is I've included an embedded video. And the title of this video is Understanding Primary and Secondary Sources. Perhaps, again, you missed this the first time, those of you who are having to do a resubmission. But if you click on this embedded video,
the content of your research project will be made up of primary and secondary sources.
You should
primary and secondary sources
here.
Come in many different formats, and there are benefits for referencing both types in your assignment.
Providing narration,
it can be difficult to figure out if a source is considered primary or secondary, but don't worry, because we'll explain the differences here. So that
okay. This explains in less than 3 minutes, and beyond explaining what a primary source is, actually provides specific examples of what primary sources are. Primary sources are not things that were written about your topic, but there were things that, particularly if there were individuals, if you were assigned a person, it wouldn't necessarily be a primary source if somebody wrote something about that person. It would be a primary source if that person wrote about themselves, okay? But again, I don't want to necessarily muddy the waters for you. I believe that this embedded video does an excellent job of laying out for you what a primary source is and what various examples are of primary sources that you might find suitably related to your assigned topics. The last thing I want to point out for you is the fact that I actually did provide a sample of a student submission from a previous semester that earned an A. If you would have clicked on this link, what would have pulled up or what would have downloaded for you, depending on what your machine does for you, is it would have taken you to, again, a previously submitted primary source by a student whose essay earned an A. Although this was in a different class, you can get the general idea of what it is that I am looking for. The other thing I want to just note and point out for you here is that not only did I provide you with a sample, but I also in this sample wrote explanatory notes in the margin pointing out the things that were done particularly well in this analysis, further explaining why she got or why the student received the grade that she received. So, in a nutshell, I have reviewed what I believe are 3 things that really should have provided further clarity for you on this assignment. I showed you the library presentation that was provided for you via a research librarian who is intimately familiar with this assignment in consultation with me. You have those obviously instructions that were already posted on Canvas that give a detailed blow by blow as to exactly what it is that I am looking for with respect to this assignment. So you have that. You also have an embedded video that is accessible through Canvas that you can pull up that not only explains what a primary source is, but gives you specific examples of what primary sources are. So there should be no ambiguity there. And I also provided for you a student sample with explanatory notes giving further feedback on why the student did specific things particularly well. So I'm really hoping that you avail yourself to all these tools that I've made available at your disposal and that you take advantage of the resubmission opportunity that I'm giving you all. So again, the resubmission opportunity is not applicable for everyone, just those of you who will see a 50 in the grade book come or no later than noon tomorrow. I intend to have all the papers reviewed no later than noon tomorrow, which is Friday, April 17th. If you are happy with the grade that you see, there's no need to do a resubmission. If you're not happy, or if, certainly I wouldn't be if I earned a 50, then I urge you and encourage you to take advantage of the resubmission opportunity, which again is Monday, April 27th by 11:59 p.m. If after all of those tools, you're still not clear or sure on what it is exactly it is you need to be doing, please reach out to me through email, Remind, or my newly assigned Google number, which is 850-888-2146. Again, that's 850-888-2146. I am here to help as much as I can, and hopefully I have cleared up some important points of confusion for you so that you can successfully get this assignment completed. Thank you for watching. Have a great afternoon.